Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And today we got some interesting stuff. So, The Witcher 3, we got a new patch that came out, 4.02, and we got some PC specific stuff like PC improved CPU core utilization, the X12, restored the Ryzen based occlusion, and a lot of more stuffs here. Not going to waste a lot of time here, but we got some fixes here, and also in some quests and gameplay also, and some localization stuff here. But yeah, it's always good to see they keeping on improving the game as best they can, and it's a commending effort from CD Projekt on continue to support this game. It's been a lot of I don't know how many years now, but they are still going at it, and it's always good to see the continuous support, at least in this game. And also in Cyberpunk, they are doing the best they can, trying to recover the confidence of players. I think they recognize that they did some shenanigans with the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, and yeah, it's good to see that they are on track of at least rebuilding, and hopefully all the new games that are launched, they are properly optimized, and with all the features they are being announced that should be announced, because at the moment we don't have any news unless the remake of Witcher 1 in Unreal Engine 5 and the rest of the Witcher series. In hardware news, we got Intel Arc GPUs. They are slowing down, dipping the price here and there, and it's good to see because they are really competitive in 1080p, and in some cases the 7770, especially the 16GB variants in 1440p, and they are very competitive in terms of performance and also in terms of price. They are cheaper than the 30 series, like competitive bracket per se in terms of performance, and they are usually cheaper and they can compete. The drivers are they did an excellent job since the launch of their GPUs, and I really recommend at least the 7070 and the 7050 for 1080p. They really do a good job. They are improving their drivers in terms of performance, even for older games and newer games. They are very good. They already incorporated the AV1 encoder stuff there, so even for like future proof for streaming and such things, and even for editing, they are very good. And I think they are an excellent option for like beginners. Even the 7030, no, 380. Even for even this one, it's decent for 1080p, like very low budget builds. So I think we are in a good track on having a decent competitor. They are going to launch Battle Mage next year, supposedly, from the leaked roadmap. And I think after, when they launch Battle Mage, they will start trying to bring up their game to like high-end GPUs, and that's when we like to see some Halo products that compete very well with Nvidia and AMD at the competitive prices, because they are also now doing, at least I think in CPUs, they're the manufacturing nodes. I think now they managed to do their own 3 to 4 nanometer process, something like that. I didn't see specifics on that, but they are catching up, even though they had like not the best year or the best 2 years in terms of CPUs, because even the 3900K, it's struggling with supposedly when the 7800X3D launches, they will be struggling, at least in gaming performance. But yeah. I caught up here. It's not for me because it's not my region. In like a combo deal for the Ryzen 7700X with the X670E motherboard and 32 gigabytes of DDR5 Expo at 6,000 megahertz for $500, which is like a huge deal because it saves almost around supposedly $230 or something like that. This is from Newegg. It's a way better deal than other places from what I understood. But I think it's more towards the US market. I'm in the Middle East market, so it will not make any difference for me. But it's good to see that they are trying to a certain degree, improve their prices on this AM5 platform, because the DDR5 is still a little bit more expensive than it should be, and of course the main issue for the adoption is the motherboards, because an entry level now Ryzen AM5 it's very cheap, like $200 something. So for the performance that it gives, but it's the motherboard and the DDR5 stuff that is still a little bit more expensive than it should be. But yeah, you got a good deal here. Of course, as always, I will leave links in the description in all the things that I talk about. And we got also from Intel regarding the 12 volts power connector, the new one that NVIDIA adopted for the 40 series, because NVIDIA was one of the companies that kind of was in the implementation of this power connector. I think they made their own like tests and everything, and they reached the conclusion that it is preferred, if you have a choice on it, to have the spring kind of thing on the connectors instead of the dimple connections. This is mainly because the area of contact is better on the spring thingy here, as you can see on the models. If you use the dimples, because the dimples basically they just use like 2 of the 4 areas of contact, as you can see here. It's less than the spring ones, because the spring ones use the 4 areas of contact on the pins, and that gives you a bigger area of contact, so the stress on the contacts is lesser, so the temperatures are not that high than the dimple stuff. And I suppose this is from when we have all those issues with 4090s burning up the connectors and everything. They really went on and tested in-house, and they reached this conclusion. So if you have any choices, and if you have already like the dimple stuff, just check if you have, and if you have like the option of changing, even like for a cable mod company or something like that. I think it's more safer. Doesn't mean that now all the free dimple ones will start burning up. Doesn't mean that. It's safer in terms of how electricity works, and so the more area of contact that you have, the less resistant is the connection in terms of delivering power, so it doesn't hit that much and keeps the things more under control. And now we have here more stuff for the Last of Us, the PC port. The first graph that we saw on the PC requirements of this game, we didn't have like the Iron Galaxy, that's the company that's doing the port, and now it's updated. It comes here with the logo of the company. There was like small changes here, but overall the thing still maintains the same. They made an updated one. Mainly here they remove like a GPU or changing one like one, but here it's basically the same in terms of performance and ultra recommendations. It's basically still the same. So from the last video that I made about it, it will not make basically any big difference here. But yeah, it's just a little update regarding this situation here. But maintaining here, The Last of Us Part 2 HBO adaptation supposedly will take multiple seasons, and some things to be flipped. The only thing that I like The Last of Us is the first game. That's it. I think the story is very concise. Very the teams they did approach mainly the relationship between Joel and Ellie on that game. It's the main core of the game itself. So it's their relationship in in the world of chaos, basically, and how two strange people can create a bond and a relationship in that extreme conditions, like in a post-apocalyptic world. That is the thing that really, and of course the relationship itself, like father-daughter relationship, is very specific, and the fact that he at the beginning didn't care for her, basically just see the person as a product, and afterwards warming up to the person and want to protect the girl has a daughter, mainly because he lost his daughter when the things went to hell. But yeah, the second one, I never played the second one, but I saw a full gameplay of the game, and basically I understand what they are trying to do, but they got lost in the weeds. They're trying to tell a story of revenge and what violence can do to a person, especially revenge, and it's not very well told. I like some parts of the story, but in overall, I think the story is a little bit mediocre because it loses focus on the themes they were saying they were going to focus on, and lost in the weeds in other secondary stuff, and then they focus too much on that secondary stuff that it's not even realistic in the world they're trying to set up here. And I think from the series itself, they just also lost a little bit on the weeds on trying to adapt the first game. As I said, the first game, the core story center is about these two characters, and of course the secondary characters are important because they reinforce to a certain point what the world is and what that kind of situation can do to people. So reinforces them to a certain point, reinforces their relationship. It's the main focus of the story. And if you start going off focusing on the secondary stuff, you dilute how the connection between them, between these two characters. You dilute the significance to a certain point, what it is about. That's why storytelling, it seems easy stuff, but it's not. I recognize that telling a story, especially when you have like this kind of things, especially in gaming, it's not easy. But yeah, I just until now, from The Last of Us universe per se, the only thing that I like properly is The Last of Us 1 game. Not even the DLC, just the main game. I think it's you just need that to make it like understand what people are going through and what the connection is. I don't think you don't need extra stuff because or else you start to dilute what the story is about. But yeah, enough rambling about this. That's why I like to upgrade my PC to start focusing on these kind of things and write scripts so I can keep on focus on what I want to, the point I want to get through. But yeah, Bloober Team gave an interview regarding the remaking of Silent Hill 2, and yeah, they made the Layers of Fear series and Observer. They are a Polish studio, and they are making now the remake of this game, and they talk about a little bit like the inside stuff because of regarding Konami. I think they internally they switch a lot of stuff, and now we are starting to see more gaming focused and being more worried about launching proper games instead of pachinko machines. Even though it's hard to forget and hard to forgive to a certain point what they do basically with Kojima, even though Kojima might be there were some rumors is a hard man to work with, or it's like a div or something like that. It doesn't matter. The fact that this game sells, it should be enough for them to give proper conditions to finish up a game that everybody wanted to see finished. And it's something I think people will not see finished. I saw a lot of videos with speculation of what the real ending was about and the missing chapters per se. went through. But yeah, I think they are turning around and making the games that are good. We will see how it goes with this new thing with the Resident Evil, sorry, Silent Hill series, because they are launching more games. At least besides the remake, at least 2 more proper games and other 2 kind of mixed media stuff. I don't know what they are doing. We only saw some teasers, but there are 2 proper games that are going to do. It's the Project F, I think, and I forget the name of the other. I think 2 games at least we are going to see, and we'll see how it goes, and then we make the judgment when it comes, when the games come. We got The Last Spell. I think I talked about this game some while ago. I'm not sure, but I've been watching this game, and at first I didn't thought it was like a big thing, but it seems like a decent, pretty game. It's basically like a mixture of turn-based with some roguelike elements and tower defense game, all in one game, which is really interesting. The game, I think it's launched now. I think it does. And here on the Facts of Life, they go a little bit on the how the game works, and we have like a trailer here, and it seems pretty good from what from what I read, and a lot of mechanics here that because they are combined, they seem very, 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 very good. I will keep an eye on it, and when I see some reviews for it, I will let you know how it goes. And to finish up here, I'm just going to give you some gaming deals here. There is like the Daedalic publisher sale. I think that's how they called. This game is out, Barotrauma. It seems an interesting one. They have this one. I also saw some interesting things here. Rough Justice, like a detective game here. I think you own like a detective agency and go about solving cases. I don't know very well, but they have like Lord of the Rings Golem coming out, and I saw another one, Edge of Insanity. I think I also saw something like this. You got the Shadow Tactics, so it's a very kind of well known in terms of the indie scene, in terms of publishing. So just check it if you like any of these games. And Funcom also as the Mutant Year Zero, which is a very, very good game, Moods of Menace, and more, but usually I hide a lot of them because it's games that are not for me, so I usually hide those games so I don't get too much clutter when I go to Steam pages and go about it. But yeah, this is it, guys. I'm going to wrap up here with my Google Fan Me for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content for my private clients, and of course doing some video stuff, editing and video work for them. They are been asking me for a while now, and of course in my free spare time doing the things I do, the daily videos, the scripted content, and of course resuming my gameplay series. And all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.